Alright, y'all ready? It's a brand new year, new things, big rings, and I promise you, this year, you're gonna get a little bit closer to your dreams. It's the Kobe year, 2024. How's it treating your lovers and friends? How many of us have them? For real ones is hard to find. That's why I had to come check my man 3D here at the Grammy room. You know they got that Platinum Plus sound, and you know how I get down. Straight motion, baby. Interviews, art, culture, fashion. Yes, baby, you know the vibe. Shout to the Black Billionaires Collections for the love. I see you, Aunt Lava. And FYI, I grew up in Shaolin, so protect your neck. STEPH LOVA coming at you live and direct. STEPH LOVA live and direct from the Grammy room, and now it's time for another edition of Ask Big Bird. You heard? A big shout out going out to the Black Billionaires Collection for the love. Hey Bird, big question I need to ask you, my guy. Do you think Diddy can get back on track after all of these scandalous accusations?
Hell no. Best thing for him to do is to assume the position and take that. Pause.
Yo, what up, Big Bird? Trying to get my own business started. Where can I get a loan from?
Who you bank with?
Navy Federal.
Navy Federal? Yeah, nah, you ain't getting no loan, bro. They racist as fuck, bro. You might as well go ahead and bank with somebody else, you know what I mean? Like, I know Killer Mike got a bank. You might want to bank with him. They not handling no loans, bro. Trust me.
Hey, yo, Big Bird, what you think? Is Biden and Trump, they too old to run for president in 2024?
Yo, is Cat Williams a truth teller? Yo, respect to the OGs, you feel me? Well, you know, what about Michelle Obama or Beyonce, man? You know what I mean? Like, let's go for one of them for the win, you know what I mean? I know Beyonce, you don't think she on tour right now? Yeah, I mean, I'm go with that, you know what I mean? Need I say more? We out.
Yeah, STEPH LOVA live and direct for the love of the culture. I'm sitting here with my guy, TERK Stevens. He is about that life. I'm talking about that rap life, that R&B life, that movie life, that Africa life, that money life. He about that, you about that life. Did I?
I don't know, man. It's a lot.
I built all of that up for you to say, I don't know what.
There's a lot to talk about. I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm just, it's hard for me to talk about myself.
Well, damn it, we're gonna start at the very beginning. Nah.
How we doing on
so,
the sound?
TERK is from the iconic group, if you're a hip hop head, Whistle, which was many, many moons ago, and he's one of the first. Y'all was one of the first groups.
No, we were the first.
The first group to transition from rap to R&B group.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's talk about that, because I didn't know that until I Googled your ass. But that's phenomenal, because that's unheard of, especially way back then.
Right. And I mean, it's pretty much, you know, a given now. You know, you got people that rap and sing. And I was a singer, so I was never a rapper. So I was a singer. So me being an addition, like the year, I think it was 87, when Johnny Gill came in a new addition. Kango, you know, from UTFO.
Kango Kid.
You know,
yo, Kango. You know what I'm talking about?
that part of Brooklyn, man, East Flatbush, you had Kango, you had Howie T, you had, you know, UTFO, you had Full Force. You had Chubb Rock.
Hotbed, talent.
And, you know, Full Force were just they were just the mega producers, songwriters, singers. And shout out to the Force MDs. The Force MDs were...
Oh, I grew up on Staten Island.
Right, so the Force...
Stevie, Marguerite, Trisco, don't get me started.
So they were the first. They were a rap group. They were the Force MCs before they became the Force MDs.
Yes, thank you.
But they when they got their record deal, that's all good. When they got their record deal, they were the Force MDs.
Yes.
And because, you know, that was Kango's mission, that Whistle would be a rapping group and a singing group. When Buggin' came out, it was such a monster hit.
Yo, that record
it was monstrous.
Because that was like the slang. You bugging, and then you only bugging. Yeah.
And at the time, you know, hip hop was just, in its early stages.
Yeah.
It was starting to really, really blow.
Really wasn't no money involved.
Yeah, it was just, well,
really
it was, but the artist
love of
wasn't
the
seeing
culture.
it.
Yeah, it was money, but it wasn't trickling down.
Those independent, right, those independent.
It wasn't
record
Reaganomics.
labels, right. Those independent record labels, all those independent record labels,
Oh, they
really
ate
made a lot of money, man.
Oh, they ate.
Profile,
yeah.
Next Plateau.
Sugar Hill, yeah, they really.
All these independent record labels, they were doing very, very well.
Okay, so how did you get from that to Africa?
Well,
I mean, it's a.
We got a minute. I'm gonna walk you through it. But I want to educate. So that's why I just want to set the stage for that, and then also historically, because which is important, is making sure that people really get a good understanding of it. That it was a move that had to happen because all of rap music was really being released on independent record labels. They were all independent record labels. Nobody knew what it was. So these independent guys, these white guys who own these record labels, were investing in it. And
they want to see a return on their investment.
They saw there was something that was a movement, and they was like, yo, I think this has potential. I know it has potential, you know, and then the majors were just doing standard business of operation. You know, they had their standard operations of you know, developing artists, producing them and releasing them, and they didn't want to take the gamble until they saw the movement on the street and they started seeing that, yo, this really has traction, and that was years later. But black radio wasn't really giving us much love.
Nah, it was just all in the mix show. You had to get it in the mix show.
We were getting love from the pop white stations, white radio stations, and that's very, very important. So we were fighting like hell to try to get the respect and earn the respect from black radio. It was really what really got us over in terms of getting the exposure from black radio and just from our people. It was the video shows. It was BET, and before
Video
BET,
Music Box.
Video Music Box, Ralph McDaniels, I got to give him all the credit. And you always had these video shows, Friday night videos, Saturday night videos, or just video shows around the country that were like 30 minutes or hour long that played music videos. And that's how hip hop started to get exposure.
They planted the seed, and it just,
and that's how we got the exposure.
So Whistle eventually, y'all, I don't want to say break up. I don't know what happened. I guess it just, everybody just have interests. Everybody grow up.
Yeah, you run your course. You know, you run your course.
And your interest turned to film.
You know, Ralph McDaniels at the time used to let me come down the Video Music Box to, they had a video production company called Classic Concept, and they shot a lot of music videos for artists. And I used to sit in on their post-productions, and BET was here. So when I came home, and because we were on BET, I always used to just hang out at BET. When before BET became BET, my boy, who was my road manager, Jerry Collins, his sister was like one of the first on-air talents. You know, her name was Yolanda Gaskins. And just a beautiful sister, man, who was really on air. Yeah, she was early. That's what I said. This is the early stage.
I don't remember her. I can't say.
BET was in Alexandria, Virginia. Wheeler Avenue in Alexandria. Before they even moved to D.C., it was like, this is the history of BET.
Yeah, I just remember them at BET.
And then they was in Brentwood, this little studio, and then they became the big monument that they are. But, you know, me and my boy Juan was working on the script. Juan Mendez Scott, we was working on the script, and the phone rang. And when the phone rang, I picked the phone, and he said, hey, man, my name is Monty. I'm like, hey, how you doing? He said, man, I got your number from Brian over at BET, and I'm doing this movie. I'm doing my directorial debut. He said, I'd love to meet with you. I'm going to be in D.C. tomorrow. I said, okay, well, cool. So I told Juan, I said, man, this dude named Monty talk about he doing a movie, and he want me to help him. I said, we're going to check this dude out, man, and see if he's real. So Juan gets excited. He said, man, what if it's Monty Ross? And I'm like, well, he didn't say his last name was Ross. He said, man, but Turk, if it's Monty Ross, man, that's Spike Lee's right-hand man. I'm like, well, we going to find out. Yo, we get to that.
And it was Monty Ross.
Man, we pull up, and Spike Lee just standing out in front of the
Hold
theater.
up, give me some.
Yo, it was crazy.
There it is.
Spike was just standing in front of the theater.
Love it when a good plan comes together that you ain't have nothing to do with.
For like 2 or 3 years, I just hung around Monty. And keep in mind, I'm still doing my music. I'm touring. And he took me under his wings, and all I did, man, whenever I wasn't in the studio, whenever I wasn't working, I would just go to 40 Acres and just sit in the corner and just watch them work.
That's like LeBron did that for his man. That's how he became the agent. He just sat with LeBron agent till he learned everything, and then they cut the agent off and got right to the bag.
I ain't asked no questions. I ain't bothered nobody. I just sat. Whatever he told me to do, I did it.
So what was the movie that you helped him out with?
It didn't get made in time.
Because I was about to say, was it Spike's joint?
No, it was. I was sat there when they did Malcolm X, Clockers, Crooklyn. I was sitting around on all these sets, man, watching them work. And even when I wasn't on the set, I was in the office, and that's how I learned how to produce, was just sitting around and just watching them. So I met, I hooked up with this dude named Samad Davis out of Jersey, and he kept saying, Turk, The real business is in Africa.
Don't be fooled. There's money in Africa.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, they just rob and pillage and steal a lot of it from the people that live there and that should be.
But the talent is immeasurable.
Oh,
man. It's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
So it was Samad's idea to be like, yo, you should come. So I said, I'm gonna check it out. So you know, I don't turn on nothing but my collar. I said, let's go check it out. So we flew out. We did the first reality show was between Ghana and Nigeria. The Spirited Actor. That's what it's called, The Spirited Actor. And I had took Anthony Anderson over there. That's how Anthony first got over there.
Yeah, I know you cool with Anthony and
Anthony
Morris.
first time.
Morris Chestnut.
And he was the first person to, the first real celebrity that we really wanted to invest in going over there. And that's how Anthony got over there.
Another HU alum. Throw that in there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah.
2 times.
And,
I can't help it. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
yeah, so then from there, you know, we went to South Africa, and South Africa was it. It was like, you know, it was unquestionable about that's the space to be in. So, you know, Tyra Banks had America's Next Top Model, and, you know, we created Top Actor. And it's a competitive reality show as opposed to models, you know, finding the top actor in South Africa. So we did 3 seasons, and it became BET's first show in Africa when they launched the BET Africa.
Wow, you would think they would have been over there. God damn, they like 40 years old first time.
Yeah. So that launched BET Africa. It was Top Actor, was it?
Nice.
Yeah.
And since then, you've been involved in a bunch of projects with Anthony Anderson and Morris Chestnut and stuff, which really culminates to Oscar weekend when you guys throw your influencers brunch, which I will be sliding to this year somehow or another. And it attracts the black elite of Hollywood, but also a lot of the money players. So how did that even get started?
I just wanted to do something different. Like whenever I get involved in something, it's just got to have a purpose. And Kevin Parker, the brother from DC, came and took me out to breakfast one day. And he was like, look, man, there is this business retreat they used to have here, like Bob Johnson from BET, Ken Chenault, the black CEO of American Express, here, like Dick Parsons. At the time, he was the CEO of Time Warner. So these are all these black CEOs of these major companies. And they would have this business retreat here in DC. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I said, well, damn, man, I would love to be invited to that. And he was like, well, they don't do it anymore, but you should do it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, Turk, man, you should do it. And it wasn't until the BET Honors Awards they used to have here. Every year, Anthony was a host, and Chris Spencer was the writer. You know, so every year we got together and would have breakfast, me, Anthony, and Chris. So that year we had breakfast, and I never forget. You know, so I said, man, I got this idea. I'm gonna do this brunch. So I told Chris, I said, yo, I got this brunch I'm gonna do. And then I had I called 2 other partners of mine, super attorney Donald Woodard, man, and my man Tricky Montgomery. And I said, man,
who's NLE's manager. I throw that in there. NLE Chopper's manager.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, look, man, I got this idea. I want to do this brunch, and I think and the culmination of it would be something that's where Capitol Hill, Wall Street, Hollywood, and Silicon Valley converge. And for me, and I felt like there was nothing for us. There was nothing for black people. So I said, yo, I'm gonna call it the Influencers Brunch. And it's where all the influencers come together to continue to influence.
That's like influencers of the culture.
Yeah,
like,
just in different.
Because we got to cover this. We got to make sure that we taking care of this, because if you let it into the wrong hands.
You know, it's an invitation-only event. Like, it ain't for everybody. Like, it just, you know, it's curated to be.
It's like that Rock Nation brunch.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly,
that.
Exactly.
It's one of those.
And we did it in DC for the first 4 years. The first 2 years, we didn't have anybody. We just had it was a network.
What year are you in it now?
We're going into 2024.
Wow,
10 years.
wow.
2020 was 10 years. So in 2014, when it just started, you know, just having a brunch, and Anthony and Chris were the host, and it just exploded. And then I was like, okay, after being here for 4 years, now we have the Capitol Hill, we got the Hollywood piece of it, so we're gonna go to LA. And I said, man, I'm gonna go to Hollywood's biggest night, the Oscars. I said, yo, man, their biggest weekend is Oscars weekend, and I'm gonna ram black excellence down their throat, man. We was murdering it, man. Like, at the time, Kenya Barris had just did his $100 million Netflix deal, And then Byron Allen, Chris had introduced me to Byron Allen. And
Byron Allen owns the Weather Channel, just to put it in perspective.
But at the time, Byron was in this lawsuit, you know, against Comcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, yo, you need to come to the brunch, man, and talk about that, man. I'm telling you, I got the perfect platform.
That shit went all the way to the Supreme Court. He lost, but that shit went all the way up.
But Byron and Kenya, and then after that, I had Tiffany Haddish and Christine Simmons, who was the COO of the Academy Awards, the Oscars at the time. This year, we did 50 Years of Hip Hop. We had Mona Scott, D-Nice, a brother named Ralph Fulcor, who was the writer of Crush Groove. And then Crush Groove. And then we had MC Light. And then I said I had to come back to D.C. now, you know, because I wanted to bring it back to D.C. I had Wes Moore. I hollered at Wes Moore. He's the first black governor of Maryland, and he, you know, And
I know my invitation got lost in the mail, because I know you wouldn't have did that shit right here in D.C. and then have STEPH LOVA live and direct. I know, but it's okay.
No, but you know how that happened.
Because everybody don't know where I live. You know what I'm saying?
You know what happened? Let me tell you what happened with that. It was funny. They hit me and said, the governor said, yes, he wants to do it. And I'm like, oh, shit. I got 3 weeks. So that's what happened. So we pulled it off in 3 weeks. It was incredible, but you know, it just happened in 3 weeks, and we just made it happen.
Nice. Well, appreciate the history. It was a lot to take in. Yeah. Like I said, I know you don't smoke weed, right? Because your shit is too detailed, and we wish you nothing but success. My man TERK Stevens, live and direct. This guy is amazing, incredible, and he speaks nothing but facts. Like some people like to embellish a little bit, but you ain't have to do that, because you hip hop, you R&B, you movies, you black excellence. And thanks for sitting in with us.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And if I don't get a let me stop. STEPH LOVA live and direct, y'all.
Thank you.
It's your girl STEPH LOVA live here at Jamaican Country Kitchen, and we're gonna see whether these patties is good for the fatties. Let's go. Now we got 3 different types of patties. We got chicken, we got beef, and we got callaloo. We're gonna see what I do. Patty number 1 was soft and flaky. They definitely used the best bird, you heard? Now patty number 2 had my taste buds jumping, and I don't even eat meat, pause. Now patty number 3 made me stop your faking and grab a ginger beer to go. I must say that right over here in Hyattsville, you need to come out, check out Jamaican Country Kitchen, because they patties is here. Big 'em up, even though it's windy as fuck. My guy Keith Lawson got 30 years in. Not hard time, but the entertainment industry can be just as tough. But his resume is tougher. Most recently, he was Senior Vice President of Brand Solutions at BET. But now, he's the man behind the curtain. That's for certain. STEPH LOVA live and direct from the Grammy room. Big shout out to my guy 3D for the love. And shout out to my guy right here, the man behind the curtain, Baltimore Zone. How you want Kurt, Keith? Yeah. Keith Lawson, 17-year veteran of BET. Senior Vice President was your last title. Yeah. You out of there.
Yeah. Well, quick correction there. 30.
30?
30 years.
Oh, but you was senior SVP for 17, right?
Yeah. So in the last years, you know, it took a minute to get up there. You know what I mean? So
30? What did you win? Okay. So you said 30 years at BET.
Yep.
What did you start at?
I started on Video Soul as a PA.
Damn! Yeah. That's Donnie Simpson, right? Yeah. Shoot for the moon and you'll be amongst the stars.
Yeah, that's my dude. Donnie's a great dude. A great place to start in TV, especially in this business. So.
Yeah, I started at BET doing Rap City.
I know.
I remember I auditioned for that, and it felt good. I remember I felt like I had it. But what I wasn't prepared for was the politics. Because at the time, I was with the Live Squad, I was on the radio, Radio 1, 93.9 KYS. I'm floating, everything is great. So I'm like, oh, BT's here, 2 checks, yeah. And the politics, the politics. What's up with the politics?
Yeah.
We're going to start where you was last employed. What's up with the politics of BET?
You know,
is that normal?
I think that's just the corporate America. You know, the politics of the politics.
Trickeration.
The people that get you to the top, sometimes you can't get to the top without stepping on a couple of heads, and that's just not who I am. You know what I mean?
How many nice guys are at the top?
It's
not many.
It's not a lot. It really isn't. I'm not willing to sell my soul for it. That's the bottom line. Like, and a lot of people just will step on whoever they can step on to get to where they get, and that's just not how I was raised. So,
but how do you manage that being in a senior VP position? Because some of it, you got to stomach it as part of the business, but some of it is just like, that wasn't right. That's just not right.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, luckily for me, the position that I had, I sort of created that department on my own. So I pitched something and I built the department. So I built it with people that I was comfortable working with.
And that's when Bob was still running things,
right?
No,
Bob was already gone. Bob was out of there. It was it was Deborah Lee and.
Did it get more corporate after Bob left? Because it felt kind of family orientated when he was there, and then when he left, it was straight corporate.
Yeah, it probably felt that way. But I'll say this:
that has something to do with Viacom coming in behind.
I mean, you got different masters to serve. They have different, they got different agendas.
Like, this translation for white people.
well, that wasn't. It wasn't supposed to play that way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. Now y'all do.
When we were at NetOps, the first real where Rap City and Video Soul and all that was, we were just making up. It was a whole bunch of young folks that were their first time in TV a lot of times. Yeah. And it was just pure creativity. We would try something and see if it worked. If it worked, it worked. But we weren't investing a ton of money like that. So once the money got bigger on investments, you're a lot more accountable. So you couldn't be as risky. So people were a lot more hesitant to try risky things. I don't think we would have ever done Hits from the Street. We would have never done Cedar's World. We would have never done a lot of the things that we did.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been as blackety black as it was. Right.
Because it would have been like, hey, this has got to work.
Yeah. Now it's Jai like mocha. Yeah. It's little cappuccino. So when did you leave?
The end of September. So.
Oh, recent.
Yeah, it's only been a couple months. Only been a couple months. Yeah.
So was everything cool? Are you guys cool, or was it?
We're getting
situation.
So the BET side is fine. The Paramount thing was a little clunky. It was a little crunchy on the way out. But
so you had to send them peoples to talk to them peoples.
Yeah. So the people talking to the peoples. So, but the short version is the BET people know me. The Paramount people don't know me as well. So, when they're trying to negotiate and look at salaries, they need to, get off their books. It's easy to go for some of the top dogs there without knowing the history.
Already know that. You already know that.
It is what it is.
So what do you think? Do you think they're going to sell BET to my man Byron Allen or anybody at this point? Tyler Perry? Because right now, BET ain't what it used to be. I'm sorry.
So just from what I can speak on, like Tyler's basically said, all right, I'm out this time.
Yeah, Tyler ain't got time for that. Tyler about that bread.
He felt like he didn't
Y'all
like
playing games, yeah.
Byron is seriously trying his best.
He's like overbid.
He's overbidding.
He owns the Weather Channel. Yeah. He owns quite a bit, but he doesn't have that staple. He needs that jewel, that crown jewel. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just don't know what Byron does. Like Byron, the Weather Channel is like, what is that? How does that relate to the urban community? Nobody even knows. So he's got a lot of stations, and people don't really see him as a TV person. See him as a business.
But what that got to do with anything? If he got the money, like who cares? If he's the highest bidder, why should they care?
That's his point. So,
I mean, look what Elon Musk did to Twitter. Like, he paid for it. Yeah. He tearing the whole thing down to the ground. He pretty much did. So, if he bought it, he could do whatever he want with it. Yeah. And it's not like 10 other, like, BETs out there now,
listen, it's an iconic brand. And just to have that as part of your portfolio, whether you do whatever you do with it, is just gonna change how people read.
Yeah, Byron took it to the Supreme Court, so they might not let Byron get that one right there.
I can't speak for Paramount or for BET, but there is a lot of energy in the atmosphere that says that something's gonna happen shortly.
Yeah, I just canceled my Paramount Plus subscription yesterday. I only signed up so I could watch the Chiefs game. I'll be honest with you.
And so did a lot of people.
Oh man, but for real, we're not going to dwell in the past, because we move forward. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You've been doing this way too long to just retire. Right. The book, let's talk about that and what you got going on from this point moving forward. The Man Behind the Curtain. Seemed like a quick read. Is this what you did between leaving BET and establishing whatever the next move is going to be?
It's interesting. I've been working on the book. This just happened to happen when it did. Those things happened to line up. It wasn't on purpose. But because this book is a lot of stories that were already written, you know, I was really just telling things that happened to me and how they affected and
Oh, so this ain't a blasting BET.
It's not a BET. It's not a BET thing at all. I mean, BET is a character in the book because I was at BET for 30 years, but I touch on it. But it's really not a BET book. It's really showing how a lot of times you think you know what you want to do, and it's not really what the universe has for you. So I thought I was going to be in engineering. I thought I was going to be in NASA or something. And the whole time, in my background, in my family connections, and the people around me, there was always this music and entertainment thing happening, and I was ignoring it because I didn't think that was something that I would be able to make a career of. Because listen, you know, when we started, we were making it up. Like,
yo,
did you know
my
anybody
motto,
that was making?
Keith, can I tell you what my motto is? You do it for the love, and the money always comes.
There it is.
Because when I auditioned for Rap City, there was no salary attached. I think we were paying like $200 an episode. You know what I'm saying?
It was not much.
It was nothing. Like I couldn't even show you a Rap City pay stub because I didn't care. It was more about the culture, you know, the visibility. I was already on the radio. I felt like I was already kind of famous in that sense. So it was like this thing. It was like moving, and everybody wanted to be on that ride.
So I always say folks like, you know, basketball players and stuff have the best jobs ever because they do something for a lot of money that they would do for free.
That's the key. That is the key to life. To do something that you love to do, that you would do for free.
Right.
And you got to figure out how to get people to pay you to do that.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the secret right there. It's in the book. If you read the book.
It is in the book.
And look, you got to read this book. Follow my guy, Keith. He's on the book tour. The man behind the curtain. Now, before I let you get out of here, I want to know what you got planned for the future. Are you getting back into the music business, or you're gonna keep penning books and stay on that side of things? What you think?
Yeah, I think for me, it's all about the creativity. I'm a creative guy, as I've come to find out. I love entertainment. I still have my management company. I don't know if we mentioned it. I used to manage BRUNCH Americans. It was one of their. We talk about them quite a bit in the book.
Edlin Shine.
Yeah, those are my dudes. And then producers. Okay. Just because the hip hop and all that is a grind, you got to be out in the streets. You got to be in the clubs. You got to do all that now, and I couldn't do that and then manage a career as an executive in entertainment. But also my production company, we're still creating content. It's Kid Lab and Chemistry, KEM.
Nice.
And then my own company is Spartacus Media. I Am Spartacus Media is the website. I Am Spartacus Media. That's where you can get the book. I Am Spartacus Media. You can also get it on, you know, Amazon and Archways, Simon & Schuster, all those other, you know, standard places. But my site, you can get it. You know, the grind doesn't stop.
It don't stop.
Gotta keep it cracking.
Before you get out of here, you gotta give us one good BET story we can live with. You got a memorable BET story you can share. Everybody got a BET story that worked at BET.
Listen, when I started writing this, here it is. It'll do a dual purpose. The reason I wrote this book was because of an Ananda Lewis story. You know, Ananda Lewis used to host. Teen Summit. So the reason that really sparked me to do this was, you know, she was a person that I actually managed. A lot of people don't know this, which is I was behind the curtain. I actually managed her. I negotiated our contract. I actually
for the talk show and all of that.
Not by the time she got to the talk show, we weren't managing her anymore. But to get to
the
Teen Summit
stuff, all
the way up, this is her start. Like she was never on TV before she met us. So I got her. Worked with her, you know, brought her into BET, reading prompt and all that, then got her to audition to Teen Summit, which she did get, negotiated all that. But I was in a barber shop with my crazy barber, West Barber, and I picked up an Essence magazine. She was on the cover. And someone asked how she got started, and she said, a friend told me about an audition, and I went, and the rest is history. Which is great if that was the full story, but the full story was I wasn't mentioned at all.
Damn, she dubbed you, kid.
And you know what? And I don't even think it was on purpose. So Wes was like, yo, you really the man behind the curtain. Then you find her, teach her how to read stuff, get her an audition.
And this the thanks I get.
He said, you really the man behind the curtain.
I'm trying to tell you, that's why that management, I don't manage people.
So I said, I wonder how many other people there are like that I've helped, you know, made moves for whatever that don't mention me. And when by the time I got to about 13 stories, I was like, oh, I got a book.
You got a book.
So that's how the man from the curtain. That's a BET story. Yeah, the man behind the
Bing
curtain.
bong, there it is.
Bing bong.
Pick it up, the man behind the curtain. He's sitting right here. We pulled the curtain back so you can see who the man behind the curtain is. It's Keith Lawson. I appreciate the love, baby. Thank you.
Right.
As always, you know what it is. I say you know what it is. You know what it is, live and direct. Your girl STEPH LOVA at the Grammy room. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, lovers and friends, it's a rap, doobies and pins. Big shout out going out to 3D, the whole crew right here at the Grammy room for showing us so much love. And also our sponsor, you know what I'm saying? No handouts, all hustle. The Black Billionaires Collection. You know the vibes, all the way live. And oh yeah, I gotta say what's up to the streets. 94.5 down at ATL. My man Steve Hegwood, he got us on out there. We appreciate the love. ATL, we'll see you soon. And of course, we gotta end it with a hot freestyle. Come on, check my man C's out.
Whoa.
Yeah, he the birthday boy. Get him, C's.
Cold summers, cold winters. Don't you know that you're looking at a known sinner, but a stone cold winter. Jamming all day, coming home to cold dinners. Talk trash, we ain't for the litter. I had a body getting cold, getting stiffer. Now box him up like Sugar Ray Leonard. Come at us with no effort, get you on a stretcher. All about the fucking cheddar, getting money, scooping extras. If it's money talk, you know I'm ready for the lecture. But I might be the professor to test you. Baltimore, I've been here, just like the harbor. Gotta be ready for the Cold War like Marsha. Where niggas come at your dome like Barber. So I got no choice but to go harder. Be straight or forward, I'm always moving forward. Give bitches Cobra like I'm Sergeant Slaughter. Now she under my clutch. Keisha Cole from the front, Trina with the butt. Might be when I pull up. So cold. Getting high like the Maxwell notes. About stacking C notes. Can't see C's going broke. I got this weight, dog, it gotta go. So I work out. Like my name J. Cole.